So I didn't think I was gonna make this video, but then I thought, screw it. This might help some people who potentially are looking at a Gen 2 Raptor, or you might be having this issue and you don't know what's going on. My Gen 2 Raptor has been solid since I bought it. I bought it at 59,000 miles. We're up to 96,000. So I've put roughly 30,000 miles on this Gen 2 Raptor. And the only thing I've basically done to it is oil changes. But it's been needing some things done, and I have that Ford ESP warranty, and I've just been kind of putting it off, basically until I had to, which probably is the dumb way to do it. But lately what's been going on is I have some popping noises in the front end. I have like some brake lights that need addressed, a marker light, which, yeah, that's easy to fix, but it's covered under my ESP. Even a window switch is currently messed up. So today, actually tomorrow, is when the truck is going in for warranty, tomorrow morning. This isn't gonna be one of those mods or modernizing videos. This is just to get the Gen 2 fixed. Okay, first things first, let's address the popping noise that's going on in the front end. Now, this has been happening for a little while, and I've kind of been putting it off because it wasn't that bad. It was just very intermittent, so I wasn't in like a dead rush to get it in and have it fixed. But it's getting to the point now where it's getting worse and worse. It doesn't happen at a standstill. Like, I could just be parked and I can go all the way left, I can go all the way right, I can go back and forth really fast, even when it's at full clock, no popping noise whatsoever. So it's whenever I'm under a load. So if I'm in reverse, if I'm driving and I'm turning, that's when I get that loud, like, pop. I got a hold of my guy, Zach, and he told me that his popping issue that he had was the control arms where it bolts to the cross member. He said to maybe tighten it, but at this point, I'd already had made an appointment to just take it in anyway to get it fixed. So I just figured, you know what? I'm not even gonna jack with it. We're just gonna take it in. I looked under the truck, and there's basically nothing that shows, like, wear. There's no grease anywhere. There's no boots that are ripped. I mean, I have realistically no grease anywhere under here. Everything looks pretty good, but honestly, unless I jack the truck up and check like the ball joints, wheel bearings, all of that, I won't know when it's just sitting here on the ground. Just from outsider view looking in, I just know that everything looks pretty good underneath here. So in my eyes, it would make sense that it possibly could be the control arm to the cross member. The other issue is the steering wheel. It's been off center for a little while now. And just to show you guys what I'm talking about, right now it kind of looks straight, but see, once I get tracking down like a straight line, see how it's off right now? And if you have one of the steering wheels that's considered a double D, which is flat up here, flat down here, it's definitely annoying because it's not like it should be going good with the dash, and it's not. So we need to get that addressed. I don't know if that has to do with something with the popping noise or if it just needs an alignment and the popping noise is just a complete separate issue than what's currently going on. The next item on our list that we need to get taken care of is one of the tail lights. Now, when I purchased this, I knew that half of the LED actually on the passenger side, when it was coming down here, it was like dimming out. So I knew when I bought the Ford ESP warranty, I should probably add the lighting feature to it, which was like an extra 60 bucks or something like that. So it was kind of cheap. Normally, would I have added that? I don't know. But knowing that I knew I needed a tail light and that these are expensive because of the Bliss module, I think people were selling these for around $400 or $500. I don't know if that's still the case. And you can't just take this light off and swap out the bulbs. These are completely sealed, so your only option is to replace it. And you can see right here, basically halfway through it fades out. And I think the reason why this taillight's messed up is it's got a leak somewhere, because I have noticed there's been moisture in it here and there after like a car wash. So right now, probably gonna be a little difficult to see, but there's some moisture in there. I did wash it earlier this morning. I'm just assuming that's what the deal is. Something leaked in and half of it's out. But it should be covered under the Ford ESP, so I don't really care. It's just something else that's minor that needs to get addressed. Plus, coming up here, like I said, one of my marker lights is out, which is this guy. This should light up. You can see it barely lit up. That needs fixed. And honestly, these are easy to fix. I don't even think these are that expensive. I want to say they're in like the $60 range. But it pulls out and it just literally plugs in. But since I have lighting covered under my warranty, it just makes sense to have them do it. Plus, the other thing too, when you take this in for warranty, I have a $100 deductible. So when I take it in, it's not $100 per item. Some people think that, but it's not. So whatever I take in and whatever they put on that piece of paper actually is covered under warranty, then it's just $100 straight up. Everything that I get done on the truck right now is just gonna be $100. And the other item that I have been thinking about addressing, that's the cam phasers. These really aren't that bad, to be honest. Like, I hear a lot of the cam phasers in some of the other trucks that actually need them, and it sounds like a diesel. There's like clanking, kind of a bearing-ish noise. this truck, ever since I bought it, just has the slightest noise. Once the oil hits the head, it goes away. It's not that bad. I mean, I've cold started it all the time and it just never really sounds that bad, but they just have a little noise. I've read a couple people like got their phasers replaced and then like 20, 30,000 miles down the road, their motor like KO'd on them. I don't really know what the full story is with that. Maybe that's just a rare occurrence. But then the other part's like, I should just get it fixed because it's $100 and I have the warranty. That's what I bought it for, pretty much. But like I said, knowing my luck, I'll get them swapped out, I'll get them fixed, and then I'll probably have some sort of other issue, and that's the only thing I worry about. Because I would like to eventually put a tune on this, just because I'm sick of the hard shifts here and there. I would like to get a little more power out of it. There's so many good reviews, especially on like the Goose Tune stuff. The only thing that's really been stopping me is because I just worry that they'll deny a warranty claim while I'm under the warranty period. So of course, on that cold start, it made basically not much noise at all. So now you get what I'm saying. I just don't think it's vital right now to even mess with them. They're not making any sort of clanking noise. It's looking like the Gen 1's going to be my daily for a little bit. They told me Diagnostic is going to take around 24 to 488 hours, which I kind of assume that. Hopefully, I don't have to be without the truck for too long, but then again, I guess I don't really care as I have the Gen 1, and the Gen 1 is equally fun to drive around. Hello? Yeah, this is him. It's already done? In 2 days? Okay, what do you mean that's not covered under warranty? Okay, well, I thought it was. Okay, yeah, we'll figure that part out. You also think that I have the coolest looking Gen 2 in the world, and you'd much rather have it than a TRX? There's something about you I like. Okay, yeah, I'll be up. Thanks, bye. First things first, it's looking like our steering is back straight again. Pretty good, really. Issue number one, that's out of the way, that's fixed. Let's pull off somewhere, let's do a little damage control and assess everything. Let's just run through everything they fixed because there's a couple things on here that I had no clue they fixed. But the first page, this just says my front and rear brakes need replaced. I said no because he told me it was going to be $895 for the front brakes and almost $700 for the rear brakes. I said no bueno. I will go ahead and fix those myself. First things first, they did end up replacing the taillight. So that extra lighting add-on that I did to the Ford ESP, that paid off because now they swapped out that taillight. But the other thing that's kind of crazy is, so I added that lighting option to it, but the side marker light that I need to replace on the passenger front side, they said that's not covered. Well, I thought the lighting option covered it, but I was like, you know what? It's probably one of those things where I added the lighting option, but it's in the fine print that marker lights are not covered. I don't know, but I just thought that was crazy. But the craziest part of it all is, he said if you want, we can get the part in. Parts and labor for just the front marker light is going to be $518 installed. Absolutely not. $518. I can get the part for like $60. I think I can swap it out in under 15 minutes. No way. The next item, the passenger window switch, it would roll down, just wouldn't roll back up. They fixed that under the warranty, which that's kind of a cheap part anyway. The popping noise. So one piece to the puzzle was they replaced the lower right front control arm and then just some camber bolts in there. So that was one of the issues with the popping noise. They did a multi-point inspection. Now this next item, I didn't really know that this is what they were fixing on here at all, actually. It says customer states hearing a growl from the front end. I actually never even said that, which is kind of crazy, but they had to probably put something in the notes. They test drove, blah, 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 checked fluid. Fluid was very dark and metal contamination present. Removed differential and found pitted bearings and gears. Rebuilt front differential with new bearings, gears, and seals. Reassembled, filled with new fluid. So that was under warranty. Yeah, I had no clue that was an issue or getting fixed. I don't care. It was free. Another issue with the popping noise that they found was one of these sway bar links. So it looks like they replaced actually both of those. So they replaced both of my sway bar links. All in all, that was a $100 deductible. So it was $106 with tax. I'm still just kind of mind blown that they replaced the tail light under the warranty, but not the marker light, because that tail light has to cost a lot more than that marker light. I think I looked up the parts, it's like $60 for one light off of some of the Ford websites. And I wish it would actually give me a complete total of how much all this stuff cost and how much I saved, because I spent $2,300 on a warranty, and this is probably well over $2,300 worth of work that they just did to the truck. If that tells you guys anything, the warranty's worth it, especially the Ford one. Anyways, I hope this video helped you guys out. Maybe you're on edge of like purchasing a Ford warranty, or maybe you're on edge of purchasing a Raptor, or just all of the above, or you just want to kind of see some things that happened with a true life warranty case and you see what got covered and what didn't. I think I'll take everything they covered and not that marker light any day of the week. If you guys have any questions, you know what to do, drop them down below. And as always, make sure to give this video a like button. And make sure you guys stay tuned because I got plenty of more content coming, more Gen 1 stuff, more Gen 2 stuff, and I'm sure I'm going to have even more in the future. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.